Hi everyone. In this case study, we are going to see how does the light carry data. So with the help of the optical fiber, how the contents that has been involved. So how the technology and how it carries the light and what are all the increased demands for the technology we are going to see. Fiber optics, we know that optical fibers, it will be long and it will be in the form of thin strands of glass. So it will be in the diameter of the human hair. So it will be arranged in a bundles of, it will be arranged in bundles. So that will be called as the fiber optic cables. So we want to transmit the light signals over long distance. So how we are going to transmit? So here at the transmitting source, the light signals are encoded with data. So in the same data, if we see on the screen of the computer, how the fiber transmits data by light at the receiving end. So the whatever the light that light signal will be decoded as the data. For example, if we take the fiber optics, it will be in the form of the transmission medium. So here what we are using a pipe. So that pipe will carry the signals over long distance at the very high speeds. So here the fiber optic cables transmit data at the same time. It will be traveling in the pulses of light. So another layer of glass, what we are using, cladding. So the cladding that will be wrapped around the central fiber, and it causes light to repeatedly bounce off the walls. So here rather than the leakage at the edges, so enabling without any attenuation, there won't be any attenuation. Suppose if it is surrounded by the cladding, whatever the attenuations or happens, that will be that will be covered. So that is what that has been covered. So suppose if we take an example of the radio and television, so we are going for the information, we are going for the constant information. So the it will not carry the constant, it will not carry the constant frequency. So it is based what are all the parameters we are using. So what are all the parameters we are using is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and the phase modulation. So here it will be compared to that of the carrying frequency, and it will propagate at a long distance. Suppose when it comes to the fiber optic cable, so that will be impractical due to the high frequencies. So we are going for the encoding techniques, that is 0 and 1. So when the light is on condition, another one will be in the off condition. So it will be in the form of the natural light. Suppose if we see in the form of the information, so here we are suppose if we are seeing the difference between the conventional or whatever the holographic images, so that will not record the phase. Suppose if we want to send the data through the digital, it will be transmitted in forms of the ones and zeros. So here the internet is actually composed of the large number of ones and zeros that will be called as bits. When information needs to be transmitted from one place to the another, those bits are sent at the same time. In case of the copper cables, what we are using for the DSL connection. In case of the air or the Wi-Fi network, so here we are using the optical fibers will be used in terms of the cables. So we are going to flip the current on and off rapidly. Suppose if we want to if we want to make the LED glow, what we will do? So suppose if we are connecting the cable with the LED, the LED will flash on and light on and off. On the other hand, what happens? So if suppose a light sensor will record a data, what happens? The light one will be present. Suppose if the light is absent, it will be in the form of 0. So optical fibers are cheap, and it travels along with the fast, so that it will it will transmit the digital information. It will be excellent to transmit the information. So we are going to see how it has been transmitted for the long distance, and how the information will be transmitted in terms of the fiber. We want, if we want to transmit for the long distance, so we are going for the optical fibers. So what are all the principles that we used in the optical fibers? But instead of electricity we are going for light. So that is what the data will be, the light will carry the data. Suppose in terms of the digital, it should be in the forms of zeros and ones. So that will be measured in terms of the LED. So if it is present, it will be 0. If it is absent, it will be 0. If it is present, it will be 1. If it is absent, it will be 0. So that we are going to transmit some of the digital information when the light travels along the fast. Thank you.